Let's welcome in another favorite of the show, Iaquinta, stopping by, but this time there's a twist, not via the magic of Skype, via the phone. Is that true, Al? Say it ain't so.
Fucking bullshit, man.
What's happening?
I don't know. I think the microphone on my computer is broken. I dropped it too much.
Why are you dropping your microphone?
No, the computer, I drop it.
You drop your computer. Is this raging Al getting mad about things and drop it? Why is that?
No, not usually. Usually I'll put it on my bed and I'll listen to like a podcast or something while I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
And then I get like I move in my sleep and I wake up when it like drops off the bed and hits the floor, and I'm just So.
Well, this is a little. I mean, I like to see your face,
Or there's something going on with you guys, and maybe
that's possible.
That's probably just me.
No, it's possible.
Possible. You're right.
By the way, what are your go-to podcasts? Other than this one, of course.
Yeah, obviously. But,
yeah.
No, I usually listen to all the Joe Rogan ones. I'm running out of the Joe Rogan with who's the big guy? That guy's hysterical. Joey.
Joey Diaz.
Yeah, Joey Diaz that guy's awesome. So
he is great.
I was going back in time and catching up on all of his the ones that he was on.
So you have
running out of them.
You have a little bit of time now. You just came off knee surgery, and it's a unique kind of knee surgery. Explain to the uninformed what the procedure was.
See, I came prepared with pictures and everything for you, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah.
What we should have done was, if my man New York Rick back there was a crafty one, keep the video and then just have you on the phone. Why couldn't we have done that?
You
see what I'm saying? You see the pictures, but now that ship has sailed. It's a typical move. Anyway, tell us what you did.
You're kind of hard on New York Rick, huh?
Well, I just mean, look, there's a certain standard.
All right. Anyway.
Okay.
So they took my kneecap, and there was cartilage underneath my kneecap that was, for like 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago. Got torn in the semifinals of the Ultimate Fighter. So there was a little chip in the underneath of my kneecap cartilage, articular cartilage underneath my kneecap. So they went in there, they took that little chip of cartilage out, and they drilled holes in the bone to draw blood. And kind of my own stem cells were supposed to regrow and produce cartilage that would fill in that hole. And it worked for a little bit, but not great. The first year I was pretty good, and then from there it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And every fight I was saying I was going to get this knee surgery done, and towards the end of the camp it would get worse. The more that I trained, it was really getting unbearable, and I would fight. And I'd say probably the last 3 fights I was saying to myself, I'm going to get this fight over with. I'm going to get the surgery and then take time off, and I'd fight. I won, and I took 2 weeks off, and I felt great. And I was like, I don't need that surgery. I can do it. I can get through another fight. So take another fight, and it just kept getting worse and worse. It was like a downward spiraling, just kept getting worse. So when Bobby Green fell out, and then Gilbert Melendez, when that whole thing happened with him, I was like, I was pushing through it. I was in great shape. I was ready to fight. I was ready to make a statement, but my knee was still giving me huge problems. I was, I just said, I'm not going to take a fight with a guy who's an unranked guy with my knee in this condition. I'm going to get it fixed, get this surgery done, and I figured it would have been 6 months, and I'd be back in the cage and doing my thing. But it was a pretty frustrating process, and it finally just got I just made it happen. So it was I got it done. They took the cartilage, they drilled a hole in my knee.
Wow.
And they took the cartilage out underneath my kneecap. So they made an incision. They raised my kneecap up, and on the backside of my kneecap, they drilled that bad cartilage out. So there was a a hole in my knee. They took donor cartilage and they plugged it in there, and then they put me back together.
Wow.
Pretty crazy stuff. It was
Yeah.
a surgery that was not recommended by any doctor. In fact, they told me that it was probably one of the worst ideas. You see, doctors, they're pretty, as far as intelligent as they are, they're pretty petty and I don't know the word to do. They're like, like, oh, he does this, but I do this, and you shouldn't do it with him, and
Yeah.
and they all kind of talk shit about each other, and
Jeez.
everyone said that that Dr. Williams. Well, what Dr. Williams told me was he could understand people doubting him 20 years ago when he first started this procedure, but he's been doing it for 20 years, and he's seen a result in upwards of 80% of people with doing this surgery, successfully. 80% of everyone. He did 80%. So it turned out to be a good surgery. So I'm not a normal person.
Sure.
I'm not some fat guy playing golf that can't do a squat. No, now the surgery's not successful in my eye. All I need to do is to be able to get back in the cage and fight, and 24/7. That's I'm not worried about going to work. I'm not worried about it. For the last 4 weeks, I've been rehabbing this thing meticulously, and it's feeling so. It's amazing how awesome it's feeling already. I'm off the crutches. I don't know if did you see Aljo's little Instagram video?
Yeah, I saw you in the back there, working up a sweat.
Did you see me riding the bike?
Yeah, look at you. I saw that on a Sunday night, no less.
Sunday night.
Unless it was a latergram.
What's that?
Was it a latergram or was that live?
No, that was live. We were in there Sunday night.
Is it true though? By the way, is it true that that your career was actually kind of up in the air at one point?
I mean, in my eyes, no. Kind of. I don't know. It was the kind of thing like the only doctor that wanted to do that was willing to do this surgery that I felt comfortable with. So 6 months ago, what was it? It was right when that fight. That was what, June, July, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just been the whole time.
Yeah.
It was way back. It was like 8 months ago or something. I went to Dr. Riley Williams in a hospital of special surgery in the city. He was recommended to me by Dr. Allen, who worked on Chris Weidman's knee, who was one of the best. So when one of the best is recommending this guy, he's the man. So I went in there, and I walk in. He's got a very pretty nurse. He walks in. He's the man. He's like, look, this is what you got to do. I've been doing this. I do this with the NBA guys. I do this with these guys. And he broke it down. He cared. He asked me. He basically told me my injury, told me where I was feeling pain. He told me how. And I left that place stunned, and I was like, yes, thank God. This guy, I found him. He's my savior. He's the man. Dr. Williams is going to get me back. So I was on cloud nine, and then I submitted it to the insurance, and the insurance didn't cover it because didn't happen in a fight, and it didn't happen in training.
Oh.
I don't know. For some reason, the insurance didn't cover it. And then because hospital of special surgery is the one most expensive hospital in the in the country, I believe. But you get what you pay for.
Sure.
There was a little bit of I guess maybe a hesitance for me to be covered. So it turned out I wasn't going to be able to afford the surgery. So I didn't really I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't afford to pay for the surgery and then be out and have sit in my house and rehab for that amount of time. So it was very frustrating. I went out to the Fighters Summit, and I spoke to Lorenzo, which is something that I probably should have done in the first place, but I don't know how to I don't want to get in touch with this guy. I mean, it's like I talked to the medical department in the UFC, and they're like, "Oh, we're only going to be able to cover this much," and I'm like, "I can't cover $60,000." And they're like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you. This is what blah blah blah." So I talked to Lorenzo, and he was like, "Look, man, we got to get you back in there as fast as possible. Let's make it happen. So, again, I'm going home. I'm like, yes, this is gonna work. I'm gonna get with Dr. Williams, the man, to get this done. And then they got a couple other doctors in, and then the talk began about back and forth about who to go with and what to do. They recommended I do stem cells, and I didn't really want to do the stem cells. They said it was going to take 6 weeks to see any kind of results, and there hadn't been anyone. I looked on, I was waking up in the morning and I had nothing. I train a couple people. I do private lessons. Basically, the rest of my day, I was on the computer doing freaking research about articular cartilage injuries, the femoral condyle. I could be a doctor at this point.
Yes.
I did so much research on this stuff. So, I did the stem cells, which I didn't want to do, and it took 6 weeks. But I exhausted every possible avenue that you could possibly go down, and this was it. This was the guy, Dr. Williams. So I went and I called him and I said, "Listen, man, this is the deal. I'm having a little trouble, and I'm very frustrated. These doctors are telling me this. Everyone's telling me that. You're telling me one thing, and these other doctors got in my head, and I'm like, maybe he's not the man like I told he was. Maybe he is, just like the." So he said, "You know what? Come in, see me. We'll talk. We'll sit." I come in again. He sits me down. He draws me up diagrams. He makes, he makes me, again, asking all the questions. What did you do? What this and that? And he goes, "Look, we have this cartilage that you needed. A donor just can't, a piece of, whatever it is, the cartilage that you need. We have it in the bank. Why don't we set you up for surgery Monday? And we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they come around to covering the whole thing or whatever." So I was on the phone, and this is when what was it? The 3 fights in 3 days or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So this is like coming down to the wire. I'm trying to get a hold of. I'm speaking to the medical department, who's trying to get me in touch with Lorenzo. I'm freaking tweeting at Dana White to please give me a call because I need to. I was literally going out of my mind. I was just sitting in my room. I just wanted to smash my head against the wall because I felt like no one was, I was kind of just like all on my own. It was so frustrating. I can't explain it. But, then I went in there and talked to them, and they said, "Listen, you need 3, Dr. Williams worked with me on his end. He charges like, dude, the guy makes $20,000 a surgery. He does them all day. Do the math.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
All day, every day. That's crazy." So he worked with me. He was like, "Listen, I'll give you," it was like 75% off.
Wow.
He was like, I want to be the guy. I want to be, he wants to be the guy that got me back in the cage and whatnot. So I was like, "Man, you're the man." So we're going back now. And, I had to put a down payment of $3,000.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, "Do it. Boom, $3,000. Do the surgery, and then we'll figure out the rest after." I had no idea what was going on. So I called, Dr. Davidson's been a big help.
Yeah. He
talked to the medical department with at Hospital Special Surgery, and they're getting that hospital bill down, and, they're going to cover it. So it's it all worked out. It was such a frustrating process, and it was hell for me for six months or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's all good because I got my new knee.
Yes.
Someone was walking on this thing.
Wow.
5 weeks ago.
That is
now,
wild.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Kind of creepy, but crazy. Awesome. I'm so happy. I'm happy this worked out because I was checking in with you throughout the entire process, and I'm happy that you detailed it like that. The doctors do deserve the credit when they're able to pull this off and do what they tell you. I know there's a lot of money and stress involved. So let me ask you this, because we've unfortunately run out of time because we got you a little late, but we will make up for it in the very near future. What's your perfect scenario as far as when you come back and against who?
I'm hoping like July would be great. August would be okay.
Okay.
Against who is I don't know. Let's see. We'll
Too soon.
See where the division's at. There's a bunch of guys who have been, mentioning my name who I haven't forgotten about. And
Yes.
Bobby Green, I was supposed to kick his ass, so maybe we'll bring that one back. We'll see. Maybe Gilbert Melendez will come back from his thing, and that'll be a good one. And then I don't know what Khabib's doing, but he thinks I'm an easy fight because he keeps asking for his little comeback fight. So I'd love to show him that it's definitely not going to be as easy as he thinks it is. So that'd be a good one.
Well, the good news yes, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say...
I was probably just going to say something stupid.
No, we like that. We like to hear that from you.
But I know you do.
The good news for now is that you're on the comeback trail. The surgery's out of the way. You're feeling better. You're working out on a Sunday night. That makes me very happy. So next time...
Every Sunday night.
Every
Mario.
Sunday.
This is all we do.
Okay.
This is all we do. Aljamain Sterling's printing out Groupons. He said he's going to give them to all the bantamweights in the division, and they can come train with us on Sunday, too. So.
All right. Fair enough. Next time we need to have you on Skype. We need to see your face. So it's almost good. We did a little taster here, and then we'll check in with you as the rehab continues. For now, we have to say goodbye, though. I'm so happy for the news. Get well soon. Keep it up, man. And I look forward to seeing you back in there sooner rather than later.
Thanks, man. You got it.